I grew up attending church on Sundays. Parents made me go, and with the end in sight, for me, to get confirmed meant to graduate from church. So I did the first communion, I did kind of all the things I needed to do, and then I got confirmed in high school. But growing up in junior high and in high school, my faith and my lifestyle didn't really ever match up. I just went to church because I had to, but growing up, I just wanted to be in that popular crowd. I wanted to be sitting at the right lunch table, wearing the right clothes, and so I learned at a young age what I needed to do to be part of that crowd. And not proud of it, but in middle school, I was probably one of the biggest bullies in the school, just because I knew that I could get to the right table if I made fun of other kids. Then came the last day of school, my junior year. I went to a party the last day of school, and just to kick off the summer, we were drinking and just having a good time at someone's cabin. And we noticed more people coming to this party, and I saw flashlights, and I said, "Hey, come on over to this party." And as that flashlight kept coming closer, I realized it was a police officer. And it was that last day of school, my junior year, I was issued a minor consumption. I had to separate myself from my friends because later that summer, they were trying other drugs that I didn't want to get involved in. And so that was a pretty lonely time. All the friends that I spent my whole life trying to get were now the ones that I had just to separate myself from. So I just went to the gym and I worked out as much as I could, just to try to not be alone, and played basketball almost every night. And through that, I met this guy at the gym who went to a different high school, and him and I just became friends. And he said, "You should meet some other friends from Mounds View." And that was a rival school, and I just said, I'm sick of just being at the gym. So we started hanging out with these kids from Mounds View, a group of girls and a group of guys. And I'd hang out, and what was weird was that at the end of the night, we wouldn't do anything illegal. And it was a surprise to me. I was just waiting for someone to do something wrong. But it didn't go that way. It was always just, "Hey, good, see you later, see you tomorrow." And then one night they said, "Well, we're gonna leave for a trip for 12 days, and we'll see you when we get back." And I said, "Where are you going?" And they said, "We're going on a mission trip to California." And I've never been on a mission trip. I didn't know what that meant, but I said, "You're my only friends now, you can't just leave me." So they said, "Why don't you come with?" And so I went on this mission trip with them, having no idea what I was getting myself into. I just wanted to be around people that wanted me to be around. And so we started just doing service projects when we got to California, and cleaning toilets and painting classrooms. And I was having such a fun time just doing things that I wouldn't normally want to even do at home. And then on one of the days, we had to do a scavenger hunt in downtown Los Angeles. And we had 3.5 hours to do this scavenger hunt. And question number 3 was find a homeless person on the street and then ask them where a good place to eat is. And so we proceeded to do that. I remember walking by this guy, and this African-American guy sitting on the corner, just shaking a cup full of change and laughing and smiling. I kept walking, but my leaders proceeded to talk to him, and as I'm halfway up the block, they waved me back and they said, "Hey, Cesar, we're gonna take this guy out to lunch." And so I just remember walking with this guy, and he was limping, and my leader said, "Luke, I see that you're limping and you got a problem with your leg." And he proceeded just to tell us his story. He said that he had a good job downtown LA, and one day on his way to work got hit by a car. And since he got hit by a car, he couldn't walk. And since he couldn't walk to work, his work laid him off. And since he couldn't get any money to pay rent, he ended up out on the streets. And so we asked him where a good place to eat was, and he said Subway. And so we started walking to Subway, and I'm just thinking, what a classy joint. And we walk into Subway, and we ask him what he wants, and he orders a 6-inch cold cut combo. And the reason why I remember that was because the 6-inch cold cut combo is the shortest and cheapest sandwich on the menu. So in my 17-year-old mind, I'm thinking, A, you're not smart and you're homeless, you've got nothing. If I were you, I would order the biggest sandwich, I would order the most expensive thing, but he orders a 6-inch cold cut combo. And we're sitting in Subway for about 45 minutes, and this guy's laughing and smiling. And 45 minutes into the conversation, my leader says, "Luke, what do you know about Jesus?" And he smiled even bigger than he had the whole time. And he said, "Man, without Jesus, I'd have nothing." And so I'm sitting across the table from this guy, and I've got a house at home. I've got my parents, I've got family, I've got a car, I've got all the clothes and food I need. And I've never experienced what this guy had just said. He said, "Man, without Jesus, I'd have nothing." In my eyes, this guy had nothing. But when he said that, I realized that I have everything, but I've never had what he has. And so it's from that point on, just trying to figure out what that means to have Jesus in your life in such a way that transforms your reality. For me, my faith did not transform anything. It was just something I did. My religion was something I subscribed to, something I was part of, but it never changed me. And so sitting across from this homeless guy who in the eyes of the world has absolutely nothing, he smiled even bigger and says, "I have all I need. Man, without Jesus, I would have nothing." And those words have changed the direction and path of my life.